Welcome to St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management. This college is affiliated to Maharshi Dayanand University, Rohtak and approved by All India Council for Technical Education. This video lecture is a part of series developed for online classes. Hello everyone, my name is Ashish Tripathi and I am working as an assistant professor at St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management since 2015. My areas of interest are data analysis and data visualization, which are recommended to be a data scientist. Logical Organization of Computer. It is a course in Maharshi Dayanand University for the BCA second semester. This course comprises of the flip-flops, registers, counters and memory circuits. So let's study about this course from the Unit 1. This video is of Unit 3. In this video, we will learn about the memory unit, that is RAM and ROM. Memory unit. A memory is just like a human brain. It is used to store data and instructions. Computer memory is the storage space in the computer where data is to be processed and instructions required for processing are stored. The memory is divided into a large number of small parts called cells. Each location or cell has a unique address which varies from 0 to memory size -1. Memory is basically of two types, internal memory and the external memory. The internal memory comprises of the cache memory, the primary memory, that is a RAM, ROM, etc. And the external memory comprises of two types basically, that is the magnetic memory and the optical disk memory. Here is a diagram to showcase the speed and the performance of the memory. The fastest memory in a computer is known as the CPU register, whereas you can see that a register is there to store a single bit of information. Faster than that is the cache memory. There are two types of cache, L1 cache and the L2 cache. Then you have the main memory, that is of RAM and the ROM. Further that you have the external memory comprising of the magnetic disk, that is a magnetic tape, floppy disk, etc. Then you have optical disk, which is the CD, DVD, etc. and then the magnetic tape. In this way you can see that the fastest memory is of a smaller bit and the largest memory is of higher bit. Primary memory. Primary memory holds only those data and instructions on which computer is currently working. It has a limited capacity and data is lost when the power is switched off. Primary memory is generally made up of semiconductor devices. Likewise, you have the silicon, germanium, etc. These memories are not as fast as the registers. So primary memory, as you have seen earlier, they are not so fast as the registers. But primary memory is the main memory of the computer. The data and instructions required to be processed is reside in the main memory. Primary memory is divided into two categories, that is RAM and ROM. Here are some of the characteristics of the main memory. As you can see that the main memory is made up of semiconductor devices. It is the main memory of the computer and it is the working memory of the computer. Main memory is faster than the secondary devices, and the main important point is a computer cannot run without the primary memory. So if you have a computer and there you have a RAM and a ROM, then you can focusedly run out the computer. But if you don't have any RAM or ROM installed on the computer and you just have the hard disk or the magnetic tapes, then you can't start the computer. Random access memory. The memory which is accessed directly by the computer is called the random access memory. In every memory location, it has a unique address called the memory address on which a CPU performs read or write operations. It is read and write memory. As you can see that RAM is a volatile memory whose contents are lost as soon as the power is switched off. This memory is directly accessible by the computer. RAM memory requires a refresh equipment because its contents are lost, so every time the content are being rewritten on the RAM. It is a fast memory as access time is very less. RAM memory is of two types, static RAM and dynamic RAM. Static RAM. The word static indicates that the memory retains its contents as long as the power remains applied. However, data is lost when the power gets down due to volatile nature. SRAM chips use a matrix of 6 transistors and has no capacitors. Transistors do not require power to prevent leakage, so SRAM need not to be refreshed on a regular basis. Because of the extra space in the matrix, SRAM use more chips than the dynamic RAM for the same amount of storage space, thus making the manufacturing cost higher. Static RAM is used as a cache memory, so it needs to be very fast and small. Some of the characteristics of the static RAM are it has a long life, there is no need to refresh because it doesn't have any capacitor, it is faster because transistors are faster to execute, it can be used as a cache memory, it is of large size because transistors occupy large space in the matrix PCB format. Because of making a large space, it is expensive and it also consumes high power during the operation. Dynamic RAM. Dynamic RAM, unlike the SRAM, must be continually refreshed in order for it to maintain the data. This is done by placing the memory on a refresh circuit that rewrites the data several hundred times per second. Dynamic RAM is used for most system memory because it is cheap and small. All the RAMs are made up of memory cells. These cells are composed of one capacitor and one transistor. Some of the characteristics of the dynamic RAM are it has a short data lifetime in comparison to static RAM. It needs to be refreshed continuously because it has a capacitor in it. It is slower as compared to SRAM, so it can't be used as a cache memory. It can be used only as a RAM. It is smaller in size and less expensive than the SRAM. It consumes less power during the operation. Here is a tabular difference between the static RAM and the dynamic RAM. As you can see that static RAM uses the flip-flop to store each bit, whereas the dynamic RAM uses the capacitor to store the each bit. Since static RAM doesn't have any capacitor, it is not periodically refreshed, but dynamic RAM is periodically refreshed. Static RAM scenes never get fade because flip-flop store the bit continuously till the next clock cycle. But in the dynamic RAM, because of the capacitor, they are leaked, hence scenes get fade. Static RAM are expensive and dynamic RAM are less expensive. Static RAM architecture is less dense, but dynamic RAM architecture is more dense because of a refreshing equipment. Static RAM consists of 6 transistors in a bit and dynamic RAM consists of 1 transistor and 1 capacitor. Structure wise, static RAM is complex because the architecture of the transistor are a bit clumsy, whereas in the dynamic RAM, since it has only one transistor, so structure is simple. Static RAM has a long data lifetime because data remains in the flip-flop till the next clock cycle, whereas in the dynamic RAM, the data lifetime is very short. Static RAM are faster than the dynamic RAM because the transistors work very fast, whereas in the dynamic RAM, the operation period is slow. Static RAM can be used as a cache memory because it is very fast, whereas dynamic RAM only serve for random access memory. But in the static RAM, there is high power consumption, whereas in the dynamic RAM, it requires only less power to operate. Read-only memory. ROM stands for read-only memory. The memory from which we can only read but cannot write is known as the ROM. This type of memory is non-volatile. The information is stored permanently in such memories during the manufacture. A ROM stores such instructions as are required to start the computer when electricity is first turned on. This operation is referred to as a bootstrap. This is responsible for registration and loading of all the installed drivers at the startup time. It checks the power signal of peripherals attached like keyboard etc. and make them ready to work with the CPU. ROM chips are not only used in the computer but also in other electronic items like washing machines and microwave oven. The advantages of the ROM are it is non-volatile in nature, these cannot be accidentally changed, it is cheaper than the RAM and easy to test, it is more reliable than the RAMs, they are static and do not require refreshing. Its contents are always known and can be verified. So, whenever you want to store some permanent data in the computer, it should be stored on the ROM. But the main disadvantage of the ROM is that you can only read from the ROM and the writing to the ROM can be done only at the manufacturer time. Hence, ROM memory are used for starting up the computer, that is loading of the driver files and the OS. After the loading of the OS, the computer is being handed over to the RAM for the next processing. Types of ROM. There are different types of ROM available in the market. Some of them are being illustrated here. The first one is MROM, stands for masked ROM. The very first ROM were hand-wired devices that contain a pre-programmed set of data or instructions. These kind of ROMs are known as the masked ROM. It is inexpensive ROM. So these are just a hardware set of device which has some architecture to store the bit by bit information and it cannot be deleted. PROM stands for Programmable Read-Only Memory. PROM is read-only memory that can be modified only once by the user. The user buys a blank PROM and enters the desired contents using the PROM programmer. Inside the PROM chips, there are several small fuses which are burnt open during the programming. It can be programmed only once and it is not erasable. So, just like you burn a CD, you just buy a PROM from the market and you can program it only once. After that, you can use it as and when required. Next ROM is EPROM, that is erasable and programmable read-only memory. The EPROM can be erased by exposing it to ultraviolet light for a duration of up to 40 minutes. During programming, an electrical charge is trapped in an insulated gate region. The charge is retained for more than 10 years because the charge has no leakage path. For erasing this charge, ultraviolet light is passed through the quartz crystal window, that is the lid, and this exposure to UV light dissipates the charge. It is of two types: UPROM, that is ultraviolet PROM, and EAPROM, that is electrically alterable PROM. So if you are having a EPROM, then what you can do, you can rewrite the EPROM by erasing these contents by exposing it to UV light for about 40 minutes. If you don't, then the contents are stored as the charge in the EPROM, and this charge is retained for about 10 years. You have another type of ROM, that is EEPROM, that is electrically erasable and programmable read-only memory. The EEPROM is a programmed and erased electrically memory. It can be erased and reprogrammed about 10,000 times. Both erasing and programming take about 4 to 10 milliseconds. In EEPROM, any location can be selectively erased and programmed. EEPROMs can be erased one byte at a time rather than erasing the entire chip. Hence, the process of reprogramming is flexible but slow. So, as you can see, the performance wise, EEPROM are the best, because here you can erase the content in milliseconds, and also you can erase a bit by bit or byte by byte block instead of erasing the whole, which was happening in EPROM. Because if you are exposing the EPROM to the UV light, then entire chip was being getting erased. But in double EPROM, the selected portion of the EPROM can be erased and reprogrammed also. So this is a better choice and is also flexible. With this, we come to the end of this lecture. Hope you have learned about the various type of memory, likewise RAM, ROM, etc. Here are some of the questions corresponding to this video lecture, that is, what is a computer memory? Differentiate between the static RAM and dynamic RAM. What is read-only memory and how many types of read-only memory exist? Thanks for watching this video. You have learned about the different types of memories in the computer, how the bootstrap loader is been working with the use of the ROM, different type of ROMs and the RAMs available in the market, which one is the better, and so on. Meet you in the next video lecture. Till then, goodbye and take care.